Hello, everyone. I am RaidenGuy. I am a VTuber streamer, and this time on Retro Achievements, I have my Eternal Filena Platinum. I'm going to say Platinum. It's close enough. Anyway, let's begin. So it starts off, typical game. Apparently, this girl has been trained to be a boy to hide her identity because for reasons. But, and right now she's living at like a coliseum kind of thing where it's just like to continue living, you have to either, kill to be killed kind of thing. Not really the greatest. And of course, her first challenge was to actually train with her, quote, she calls grandfather Zena. But, not really her grandfather, just someone that basically took care of her since she was little. So anyway, from there, she's finally grown up, and she actually has to fight in the arena. Her first match is against a friggin' like elephant dude with like a crystal hammer, while she's there with like a small little crystal knife, which, yeah, that seems 100% fair. But, do a couple swings, slashes there, and boom, first achievement, happy birthday. Which, I don't know, that seems like a little bit of a weird one. But anyway, for defeating him, you get your own house, because you're classified a better gladiator. I'm just going to use the word for it. I know there's a different term for it on here, but, gladiator seems like the right way. So as soon as I got my house, I decided to just look at other people's houses and stuff like that. After that, I decided to straight up just go train outside. I went outside for, I don't know, a couple minutes here and there. It was pretty easy. I got like 4 level ups, so I'm like, yeah, okay, should be good. So I went back and did the next match. This time it was versus the Crystal Axe, which, yeah, it didn't last that long. I'm pretty sure that I overtrained. I was actually surprised at how easy, that one spear move brought him down to almost death. I was like, oh, okay. Second, oh, he's dead. So yeah, that was very sad. So anyway, after that, basically you go to sleep, you come back, and you have to do another match. This time they really don't want you winning, so they actually make it a 2v1. So you gotta fight versus the Crystal Chainsaw and the Crystal Lance, which, again, seems a little unfair. You have the Crystal Dagger, and you have to beat 2 people. But again, I think I overtrained. Well, I feel like I overtrained, but they were doing actually decent damage to me back, so I don't know. I think it's just story plot. Anyway, then they send out the next match, which they kept on saying, it's your brother. Here's a hint for you. No, she doesn't have a brother. So it was basically all a lie. Though, she did just randomly kill... Yeah. But he did it to protect his, wife and kids. So, yeah, we became a slaughter monster. From there, the next person they send up is your grandfather. Which, that's kind of heartless. Because it's like the master that taught you everything since you were young all the way till now. And you have no choice but to kill him. But it does unlock our second achievement, the hardest battle of all. Unfortunately. So, that's where the end of your grandfather happens. The next one, you decide to, hit the bar because, you just lost your grandfather, and you make a new friend named Ness. I do apologize for the video quality. I did not know how bad it would be. I did fix it later in the future, but yeah, you just have to see. Anyway, he agrees to help you break into the building. So you go into the building after a good night rest, of course. You go in, and he's just like, don't worry, I'll help you get in. And once we get in, he's like, yeah, I have no clue where I'm going in here. You lead. I'm just like, cool. Thanks for that, I guess. But he decides to join us to, help us out here anyway. Anyway, our next achievement happens to be inside this building anyway. We collect all the treasure chests within the building. Right here, it just so happens I found some extra gear. I just want to change up after healing. I seen that door and I was like, that's obviously the boss room, so I'm not going in there yet. And this is where I found the last chest. I was like, oh, sweet, an antidote. But there's the Imperial Intelligence Bureau Collectathon. And that happens to be our third achievement. From there, we actually go into that boss room, and it happens to be like a computer that told us what happened about our past. And we happen to be like the last, of the royal bloodline. We're basically the queen, but the guy that took us in, our grandfather, which was just actually a soldier, basically tried to hide the truth from the world so, we don't die. Anyway, this sets off the alarms and deletes the footage. Luckily, no one, So we run away. We get out of the building, and this is the first thing that stops us. It happens to be one of the, what are they called? It's like Death Knights, but it's just like, yeah, with some solid hits and make sure your health is up, it was pretty easy. Run, Fina, run! Was the achievement we got. As soon as we get out, we run back towards our house, and the mother of the guy I killed in the arena throws poison in our eyes. So, basically, we're blind. Also, everyone thinks we're a man because that's just how we are. And, they want to arrest us, and in reality, they don't care who's in their way. They're just going to stop everyone. Luckily, even with the girl that threw poison at us, she joins us, and we all escape with Ness, Leah. Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention who Leah is. Leah was the lady that was basically assigned to us for winning the first match in the arena. See, she's our basically person that was living with us in the house. Anyway, we go under the training academy and escape into the sewers. Which, this is the first thing I realized was we missed the Battle Academy treasure thing. So I actually had to reload a save and go back. And I had to show where the treasure chests were because, oh my god, I don't know what to say. Also, there is an achievement right there, if you notice. There were 4 statues right in front of the Colosseum. If you do them in order, so this is where the hidden chest was. Which kind of pissed me off because it's like, really? They put that one that early in the game. Like, usually I wasn't thinking there was going to be hidden chests that soon. So, yeah. This is actually a better way to see the achievement right there. Those 4 statues, that's kind of where it is, like, if you click on them properly the right way. Anyway, now we skip back ahead. And we're back into the sewer. While in the sewers, we're trying to get all the treasure chests. Again, I had to go in blind and check every single corner because, Jesus, again, they're hiding. As soon as I found it, I was like, thank God. Also, I do apologize. Because she's blind, every time she moves, it blurs the screen like that. I didn't know for a little bit that I could change characters. That was my bad. So anyway, while fighting the sewers, we did train Mika to level 14 and get her last learning trophy. Last learning trophy achievement, I'll mix them both up. But yeah, I knew this was a missable trophy, so I just sat in the sewers and trained. Ironically, while we're walking out of the sewer, it just so happens that it's our next achievement. We're fugitives. So, thanks to that, we got the achievement here. But, at least we're in a new town, but apparently there's already warnings for our arrest and everything, so, and news travels fast. From there, we search the town to see if we can find a doctor to fix my eye problem. We find this doctor, which he does somewhat help us out, but he says that we're missing some sort of herb that can only be found in the ice caverns. So, you know, he tells a blind girl and his friends to go get it. Is there a doctor present? So we leave to the ice cavern by this boat. So while in the ice cavern, we do get some fights, and we find all the treasure in there. I think there was only like maybe 8 or something, but not gonna lie, this one was also a tricky one because it just so happens to be like placed in like a certain corner. Like it was pretty easy. Like, yeah, you got it, you're out. And of course, after that, we go to the plants. I started just pulling random ones just to see what would happen. It's like, what will you do? Pull it. It's just plain grass. I'm like, okay, whatever. And then you find it. And then we got, would you like some weed achievement? Which was our 12th achievement. From there, we go back to the doctor, and the doctor says, okay, we're going to do the operation now. Your friends basically, you know, worried about you are outside the operation room trying to listen in through the door, but they can't hear anything. Doctor kind of realizes, wait a second, you're actually a woman, not a man. It's like, what the? Okay, never mind. He's like, yeah, don't worry, well, I'll keep it a secret. Anyway, after the operation, she's still blind, unfortunately, but they want to escape town. So Keen, the doctor, decides, hey, I actually have some costumes so you can actually get out of here. They're like some sort of like cat people tribe or something like that, but there's like cat hoods, which is very weird. But he, you know, gives it to them. Ness leaves the party saying that he'll find his own way around because there's no way he can dress up like that. So after that, they decide to go check out the cat people tribe because everyone needs to learn their dance to actually get out of town. Of course, poor Filena, you know, blind, can't see what she's doing. They kind of lie and be like, yeah, she has a bad memory, don't worry, we'll hold her hand on both sides to make it look less weird. Which, you know, funny. Unfortunately, we do, you know, get out of town, we go to a campfire, have like a little relaxing thing, and then we head out. While we were heading out, we were caught by one of the Black Devils. That's what it was called. They're Black Devils, not Dark Knights. But anyway, he's planning on throwing a bomb on the bridge that we were on. And we're like, oh well, we're doomed. But luckily, Mika was behind him and actually pushes him off the edge with the bomb. And, you know, we survive, which was terrific. The only downside is the bomb was apparently so strong that it still kind of wiped out the bridge. Which Fina and Aaliyah was able to get off the bridge on the other side, and of course Mika falls in the middle of the bridge and it lights on fire with no escape. And she's gone. Yeah, this game's not brutal at all. From there, we try to escape and get out of there. Ironically, there's a cave not far by, and it just so happens to belong to bandits. Yeah, from one trouble to another. So, now we're basically in a bandit cave. Ironically here, as soon as we go in, the Black Devils are still on our, like, chasing us down. So, ironically, that's where our next fight is. We have to stop. Laris, leader of the bandits, decides to join us and to help us stop the Black Devils because apparently he's part of the resistance of the Black Devils. So he helps us defeat this one, get the achievement Trapped in a Cave, and he actually leaves the cave and blows up the entrance. So we're actually stuck in the cave. So while we're in the cave, let's go treasure hunting. So we collect all the treasures inside the cave to get our 14th achievement, which, not gonna lie, I was just guessing with these ones, and luckily I was able to figure out the 2 that you needed. And we got Little Latira Cave Collection. From there, I do finally get the code right and get into town. So this is the Resistant Town. I decided to check things out, and at this point, I'm like, okay, we can't believe in any more, secret walls and stuff. So I decided to check out this mountainside, because this just seems like a perfect area something would be hidden. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I was right. And I found the Melka Ring, which is a hidden ring achievement. From there, we do things around the town, like talk to the mayor and stuff like that. Eventually, we find underneath the church happens to be their resistance area, a secret base, which basically coming into here was top secret. So that gave us that achievement. Anyway, we help the bandit leader with a trade that was happening in the cave. Then we got back. Apparently we failed because they basically stole the goods and didn't pay. So we had to report back to second in command, Abel, and tell them that we were tricked, unfortunately. From there, the Black Devils actually started raiding the town. They were able to find out where we are. So we had no choice but to escape. This is where we find the last treasure chests in the Little Latia cave, or not cave, but it feels like a mine cave. But that was an easy achievement. He tells us to jump on the minecart and escape while he holds back the Black Devils. Which ironically, one does jump in the cart and catches up to us, which we have to fight. This is actually Minecart Madness achievement number 17, but it did not prompt up. I actually had to request it being unlocked, and I had to show them the video proof that I did get it. It just, for some reason, I guess I got bad connection, and I didn't receive it. It was supposed to pop up right around here. Anyway, from there, after the minecart, we are saved from like a small town. We leave, and we actually find our first, the first little hiding insomnia club. There is actually 5 to collect, and this was the first one you can get. The Black Market, that's what it is. You got to be careful with these things, because they're hidden pretty well. And like I said, there's about 2 of them that you can potentially miss, and this is one of them. From there, we do go into town and into a lighthouse, which we're looking for a rope to help us basically go down a well. It just so happens there was like a little cutscene right here that she tripped over a rope, and she's like, oh man, we gotta find a rope. Wait a second, this is a rope. Yeah, it's one of those, little gag things. It's like, wait a second, it is a rope. So it worked out. It's not bad, As soon as this one was done, ironically, the very next trophy happens, deep rope. It just so happens I got a fight right between that treasure chest and that rope. As soon as we got the rope achievement, we got into this fight, we fought this fight, and then we opened the final chest here for Mon Charlie treasures. Actually, no, that wasn't the last one. I forgot it was in the sewers. So we took the rope down into the well and got the last one here. From there, we did sneak onto the boat. That was it was just basically in the cave nearby. It was simple. The guards left, and we're just like, okay, this is the best time to do it now. Ironically, what they were just doing right there is they were taking a guy off a ship that was sneaking on, which gave us our opportunity to sneak on the ship. We took the ship to the mining town, and in the mining town we needed a pass. So this is the part where I got stuck the most. I had to talk to everyone in town back and forth until I could figure out who was supposed to give me the pass. This was probably where I got stuck the most. I finally find the person that gives me the pass, and he's just like, yeah, here you go, you can now work in the mines. And I'm like, oh, thank God, you shall pass. Not gonna lie, after I got this, I was still lost. Because I kept on going into a town. On the other side of town, it's poisonous, so it was hard to breathe. I didn't understand I had to go to the item shop to actually buy, like, hazmat suits. I was like, really? I would have not guessed. Like, you don't think the item shop would be a friggin' person you're supposed to talk to. So, yeah. That's what happened. That one took a while to actually figure out. From there, we actually go into the place, talk to some people, and we actually get a reunion with Dr. Keen, or Dr. Klee, yeah. And the son of Mika and the father I killed, which his name was Fizz, which, not gonna lie, he basically, hates us with every part of his soul because, he feels that we killed both his parents. Which, not gonna lie, that's fair. Like, they really had to make this dark. Anyway, the Black Devils light this place on fire, take Fizz, and we escape through an underground thing in this mansion-like place. Which, not gonna lie, again, what's with these Black Devils? They have nothing better to do except for chase us and, like, burn everything in their path. That's so far their gimmick. So we go down these weird steps and we find Toma Collectathon 2, which was our 22 achievement. From there, we actually get to the end of this cave, and of course we're stopped by a Black Devil. I'm just like, really? These guys are starting to get annoying. They're showing up every single time. This is one that's number 17. Luckily, you don't have to fight every single number. It's just random numbers. But anyway, this one was Fire in the Tail achievement. From there, as soon as we leave the cave, it so happens that we bump into another black market, number 2. It just so happens to be nearby. At this point, it was a little bit laggy, but I was able to make it without getting into any battles. So yeah, this was the second one. From here, you can't really miss much, so that's great. Anyway, after this, we head to the beach, and we actually find a woman with her pet wolf. And for some reason, she has, like, super insight, because she's just like, I can tell you're a woman. It's like, oh, okay, cool. She's like, yeah, we're not going to show you where our camp is, but, when you get to our camp, you're allowed to come in. It's like, oh, okay. Ironically, when we get there, she's actually having a baby. So, this is where, ironically, we actually get better footage for the game. I was able to figure out why the game's footage looked so bad. So, yeah, congratulations. Now we have better footage for the rest of the time. Well, I think for the rest of the time. But anyway, from here we decide to help them out because they're having bandit problems. So we go to the mountains, and ironically, Hunter joins us, which is the dog, and ironically, Amanda, the one that just had a baby, decides to join us for this, fight, which I thought, Jesus, lady just had a child, and she's just like, yeah, I'm strong enough to keep fighting. It's like, okay. Anyway, we finally get our last achievement here, Mount Oglat. Yeah. From there, we actually go fight the bandits on top of the mountain with all 4 of us. Not gonna lie, this is like great having 4 party members for once, because this whole game it's been like 2 or 3 jumping back and forth. Except for the one time in the sewer, but, we don't talk about that one. Anyway, we get the achievement, Amanelia. As soon as that's over, we actually leave that town, and she lets us actually keep Hunter. And she's like, yeah, Hunter needs to get out in the wild and, learn stuff. So, cool, we leave that base, and we ironically find another black market. Almost basically right outside, which, man, I think there are actually a lot everywhere now. You kind of see it, like, in the distance right here, and you're like, oh, cool. Number C. After that, we find an old man that was willing to sneak us into the Imperial main town where, they've been trying to hunt us. We're like, yeah, how about, he's like, don't worry, I'll sneak you guys in, just hop in my cart and under the tarp. Like, okay, this works. I had to do this one a little bit longer, just because of the whole funny scene, because, you know, games always have to do some sort of trope where it's like, wait a second, I heard a noise. Let me see what's under the thing. What do you mean? It's just firewood. Yeah, it's just my cat now. Shh, quiet. When people are going, meow, it's just like, obviously it's not a cat, dude, but, you know, they're gonna let us in. So we sneak in, and, yeah. We sneak into the base, and of course, as soon as we find the guy that's in here, he was Otto. Otto actually gave us the sword of Filena, which was the second tool that was missing all those years ago. Which, as soon as we find him, a black devil shows up, and we had to defeat him, following the sign. The only downside is Otto gets destroyed while we escape. So we're able to escape town from this town now, because, you know, we didn't want to be in the Imperial base anymore. And we, of course, find another black market just outside, on the opposite side of town. Of course there is, because, you know, you need one everywhere. From there, we do go to the next town afterwards, and this one's unique because they have like a mountainside where enemies do spawn instead of like being out in the overworld. This treasure, just so happened, I kind of bypassed it. It was actually in the waterfall. The only thing I could say about this one was I was actually lost at this point. This is where the game kind of goes free open, and you're like, where am I supposed to go? I can't believe what I forgot to do was to talk to someone on the second floor of the inn. That was it. I traveled extra far distance, and all I had to do was to go talk to the guy that was at the inn. Yeah. Which he basically just tells us to go buy clothes at the item shop. But you can't go to the item shop without talking to him first, which I was like, really? Yeah. From there, you can actually go into that water hut I was trying to get in from that achievement. From the treasure achievement. I was like, oh, okay, now we're allowed in. Okay, that was weird. Anyway, basically, we find out that this old man is another one of those people that were from the same, what is it? Same place from where Filena's from. So, yeah. Anyway, he tells us we gotta sneak into the base sneaking in the base. So, yeah, we're basically sneaking into another base. Like, this game has a lot of sneaking into things, and then usually just being instantly caught. Which, basically, the guard's just like, yeah, we'll let you in, because, you know, I want a discount. Ironically, we're, like, caught right away. Like, they let us to have a good night rest, and they're like, oh, wait, miss, you forgot your sword. And we're like, ah, crap. We take our sword and we, like, book it. And they're like, why are you running? Oh, wait, you're the bad guy. It's like, yeah. So they discover us and we have to fight them. Ironically, we climb to the top of this building, and, of course, another Black Devil awaits us. This time, he's the leader of the Black Devils, from what he's saying. And, yeah, we defeat him, and this guy's discovered. Ironically, as soon as we defeat him, we go into the next room, and we have to fight G-Brain, which apparently is, like, the brain operation of the whole Black Devils. So, we defeat him, and I thought to myself, okay, so now the Black Devils are all gone. Thank God. What app is this? So, from there, we grab all the treasure chests from this building. I did save just to make sure I, you know, don't miss anything. I do occasionally save from, like, there's that one incident, you don't know if this is the end of the room or not, and you're like, oh, does this kick me out and I can never come back in? Happens too many on too many games. But yeah. I get this one, and we got achievement 34. Ironically, again, as soon as we leave this place, we find another black market. We go across a bridge, come over here, and there's a little grass patch over there. Though, ironically, we're just like, yeah, sure, we'll run. At this point, I was starting to get sick of fighting all the time. But yeah, we find another black market, and it just so happens to be the last black market, so we're done collecting all these. From there, we go to the little beach where it happens to be where her palace was. She legitimately just shows her sword towards the water, and the palace just emerges from the sea. And I was like, yeah, sure, what kind of technology is this? Well, you could just show off your sword and, a palace shows up. I know it's like because both of them are together, Filena and her Filena sword, but yeah. From there, we find out that to open the doors, we need to have someone from the same tribe. So we go back to ask the old man if we can, for his help. But it just so happens that he's feeling sick and he can't help you. So luckily, we go back through that mountainside into the town, and there's a fortune teller there to tell us, to help us out. Which the fortune teller basically gives vague information saying, hey, the person you seek is with you all this time. It's like, really? Really? It's like, yep. Basically, it's just telling you that Leah is part of the tribe that you're missing. So we go all the way back to the palace, and we both touch the pedestal. Apparently, the rumors if you're not from this tribe and you touch the pedestal, you will turn into a frog. But ironically, yeah, apparently she's secretly a descendant of this tribe. So we were able to open the door, the wolf ran in, and yeah. We go inside, and there is, in the main room, a mirror that's basically telling us to light the light towers. So, yeah. To make the country beautiful again and prosperous, you have to go light all the light towers, which there are 6 to do. Ironically, there's one right outside the base. So, that's what we do. So we leave, go to the light tower. There just so happens to be a book that talks about the past history and stuff. And we're like, oh, okay, well, I guess we'll light the light tower then. Which, ironically, in this game, this was the first part of the game where it says it in Japanese. And I was like, what? I was like, okay, so there were some mistranslation part a little bit. Ironically, all the towers have it. Anyway, we go back to the beach where our palace is, and we talk to the old man that's here, because he has a boat that's like a rowboat. And we're like, yeah, can we use it to get to the little small island, which has the second light tower? He's like, you know what? Sure, whatever. You go ahead, take it. So we take the boat, get to light tower 2. Which, ironically, we activate the second light tower, and there just so happens to be another old man there, which he's, quote, quote, the guardian of this light tower. And he's like, wait, I was waiting for the queen. And he didn't realize who the queen was, because, he's an old man, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, thanks to these light towers, we could teleport between light towers, because we did lose our rowboat. Anyway, we go back to our beach in Tower 1, and, we go onto the bridge, heading back towards to get the third light tower. Ironically, this is where we finally get Nest back to join. The guy that left us way back when. Yeah, he finally joins us. So we're back to a party of 4, and we're rocking. Yeah. But he's telling us, before we do the light towers, let's sneak back into the enemy base. So, we sneak back into the enemy base through the cave that we snuck out last time. We go to the Colosseum. We talk to people. He's telling us that, to get into the cathedral room, you need a Devil's emblem. He's like, my wife has one. You can go ask to borrow it. So we do. From there, we go into the church that's up on the 3rd floor, and there's a teleporter, which brings us to a secret lab where they've been experimenting on people. What's with churches and experiments? It feels like that's where every conspiracy is. Anyway, ironically, while we try to leave this room, Fizz stops us. Which is the son between that mother and father that he thinks we killed. Ironically, he's all grown up now, which seems impossible because it hasn't even been, a week. Apparently, these experiments made him age fast, so now he's actually a young man. But apparently, he's aging at a rapid speed, meaning he's actually going to die soon. We were able to convince him that, we're not bad people. And he's like, okay, fine. You know what? I believe in you. Yada, yada, yada. While we're in the cathedral, there's this big long hallway, and we decided to get some training in, because, not gonna lie, these guys were, like, pretty much beating me. I really needed some training. Ironically, we were able to get to a certain level, and we got Hunter's Last Learning. And almost instantly, we did a few more fights, probably like 2 or 3 more, and we got Nest's Last Learning, which is achievement 38. So, there's 52 achievements. Like, we're getting there. We are getting there. From there, we do go defeat the boss of the church, the high priest. Which, yeah, all I do is I put everyone on basically random, and I just use Leela for healing. And, you know, eventually I'm blessed. From there, they decide to blow up their facility and everything in it. This is why you have to actually get all the treasures before this one in this area. As soon as it's blown up, we go back into town, and now that this whole place is destroyed, we can get all the treasure chests that were just hanging around the, town on the outside. Which will give us the final Imperial Capital Boar Collectathon, which was achievement number 40. From there, we go to Lock Tower number 4. I know we skipped 3, but we go to 4 first, because we have this guy that's just basically blocking the door. And when we talk to him, he's basically saying that he accidentally busted the door and locked it. And he needs his tools, which just so happens to be at tower number 3, where his brother is. So we had to turn around and go back to tower 3, which ironically we talked to the guy there, and he does give us the tools so we can give to his brother to fix the door in tower 4. But of course, I'm gonna go get the tower activated. So we activated tower 3, and we used the quick teleport from tower 3 to tower 1. Just because apparently Tower 3 is above Tower 4, between Tower 1, which I don't know why they did that, but yeah. So from there, we go back to Tower 4. And we give him the tools, which allow us to get into the door and activate Tower 4. So 2 more towers to go. The 5th tower just so happens to be on the outskirts where the beach, where you met the woman and the wolf hunter. So we gotta go all the way back up there. And ironically, there are some people living here. This is the funniest one, not gonna lie. Legitly, this man and his kids all block the doors and the stairs, and you have to pay $1,000 per person to get through. I even tried saying, well, screw you guys, I'm taking the elevator. Nope, the elevator is blocked. You actually have to climb up this one legit and have to pay each one $1,000. I'm not gonna lie, that's hilarious. I think there's about 5 people, so you have to pay like $5,000. From there, we get to the 6th light tower, and in this one, there's a catch to it. This one has pirates that invaded this light tower, so there's fights everywhere. Ironically, we did get Filena's last learning here, so she learned her last spell, or attack skill. From there, we ironically do collect all the treasures in this tower, which, out of all lighthouses, this was the only... I call light towers, but they're lighthouses. This was the only one that had treasures in it. So as soon as we get all the treasures here, I did another quick save, because I was worried if something went wrong. I was like, yeah, okay, 6 lighthouse collectathon, done. And that was achievement 42. So we move to the next one, which we go all the way to the top of the lighthouse, and we activate the lighthouse, because we activated all 6, we get the achievement Send for All, which is achievement 43. Ironically, we leave this place, and we head to the Eternal Iceberg that awakens from lighting all the towers. While we're in here, Leela's last learning activates, so we finally have everyone master their moves. So, no more training for us, at least. Well, I say training, but I mean no more, like, unnecessary leveling. At this point, I was almost running from every fight. From there, we do get the all the treasure chests in the Eternal Iceberg. Which, this one was the one, I was for some reason thinking of the other ice place, but this was the one where the treasure was hidden in such a way where I you know, it's right here, I just didn't think this was a wall. So yeah, iceberg. From there, you eventually do get through the whole iceberg. It's a kind of like a little bit of a labyrinth, but this Yeti kind of dude leads us to an ice boat, which you have to equip the Filena sword to the boat to make it run. So I actually had to unequip Filena because I didn't understand at the beginning, but yeah, that gives us an ice boat. From there, we took the ice boat back to Filena's palace because I wanted to check, and apparently all the doors were open now, which allows us to get all of the treasure chest in her castle, which happens to be all her equipment, just all Filena's armor, which as soon as I grab it, like legitly, you equipped it. Like I went into my menu, I was just like, okay, put the sword back on, put the shield on, put the helmet on, put the armor on, and as soon as you do that, you get achievement number 47, complete Amazon, which doesn't really actually change her outfit. From there, we take the boat to the desert, and there's a cave there. And this guy tells you, yeah, I escaped from the Dragnea Tower, which is apparently the actual real heart of where the Empire hides. Luckily, it's in the desert, but you need a certain key to get in, which we apparently got a while back. So we go into So we go into the desert, and in this one area, you have to activate, where is it? The Aurora P that you got from the iceberg. And by doing this, it actually reveals their, their base. I can feel the presence of something. This is actually the final dungeon. So we go in there, and yeah. As soon as you go in there, on the last floor, you have to fight this guy. So he's basically the last of the Black Devils. Finally. Who are am? Achievement. Ironically, the treasure was not far off. I went and grabbed it as soon as that fight was over with. It was just there's a little free heal point too. But yeah, if you take this, you can go around and come back this way. There's this one right here. And when I grabbed it, I got both achievement 49 and 50, which the Dragnea Tower and Collect a Boom, meaning I got every single treasure in the game. From there, we go into the Room of Illusions. From here, we basically have to face off with all the hatred in the world and all the pain and suffering and all that stuff. So basically, we get haunted by our memories of all the people that have died. And we have to fight them. Basically all fused together to look like this monstrosity. I love how it's supposed to be hatred, but that's not how you spell hatred. Looks like it says hearted. I'm like, okay, cool. And anyway, we defeat him, and of course, like every good final boss, you need a second form. So then we have to fight Hated Heart. Or Hate Heart. I'm pretty sure it's called Hated Heart, though. But, yeah. Funny thing is, he kept on casting spells on us, which I think lower our defense, but they say it in Japanese, so I'm not sure. Anyway, I am the Spirit of Hatred achievement, which is actually achievement 51, which is the last one. From there, in story plot wise, we go back to our palace, and G-Brain comes back, and he's just like, "I'm not letting you get away," which we throw the holy water basically into the water to cleanse the water, which also basically kills him. From there, we get a nice little cutscene of Filena becoming the queen. Just to show that we, beat the game and all that good stuff. She gets super embarrassed looking like a queen. She's like, yeah, no, I prefer to look like a guy. Because that's how she always was. And anyway, that brings us to the end. It gives us our ending credits. And at the very end of the ending credits, and when the song slowly fades away, we finally get our last achievement. Achievement 52, Eternal Fina. The title of the actual game. And there's my mastery. Anyway, thanks for that. So this was a pretty good game. I do recommend it for any JRPG lovers. Besides the treasure chest hiding, it's pretty simple, but you have to get each one. Because if you miss one, it's like your run's almost doomed. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. I really did, and hopefully you can, most of the time I do stream these. I do stream them at work. So unfortunately, if anyone wants to show up and say hi, I am at work playing these games, so I can't really say hi. But you can check me out on Twitch. It's RaidenGuy X. And you can follow me on Retro Achievements, RaidenGuy on there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and this was my second mastery. Ciao.